Hello there, Namaskar, Namaste. A warm welcome to one and all of you. And it's a joy to meet you again. And we are here to talk through various aspects of life. This is just not a motivational session, but rather we are talking about various aspects of life, the parameters of life, the attributes of life. Because why? We have just one life to live on earth, and many of us don't know the value of this life, or probably the value of the life is always translated to money, houses, materialism, and stuff like that. No, it's much beyond that. So that's a reason why we always ensure that we get into these kind of sessions and tell you the nomenclatures, right? One such session today is about the topic of pressure, or rather, we would entitle the session like "Don't Feel the Pressure, Rather Enjoy the Pressure." Right? What kind of title is this? Some people may find this title, what a stupid title is this? No, it is not a stupid title. It's a very sensible title. We will explain the reason for this title and then we will get into various examples. Now, what is the definition of pressure? Pressure is nothing but, somebody forces you to do something that is against your will, that is against your desire, that are against your wishes, or against your vision or mission or whatever, right? You don't like to do certain things, but you are being forced to do certain things, and that is almost like people are kind of pushing you into bondage or slavery, right? Which is definitely should not be, and which is definitely not something that even the law of our land encourages. In a democratic country, no one can force anything to do. It is your free will. Whatever you want to do, you're absolutely kind of welcome to do anything that you want to exercise in your life. Okay, but still, the problem is people don't pressure you directly, right? The pressure is not imposed on us directly because they also know the law of land, and that's why it is called as a tactical pressure or a political pressure. What is the political pressure? Diplomatic approach, right? If you do this, then yes, these many promotions are being promised, or if you do these many tasks. That is why it's called as appraisal system. I'm not against it, I'm for it. Why? Because you got to review your performance and reset your goals, and it sets you new direction, new mission, new vision, new destiny. Yeah, many things can change. It's nice to review always, but people who are tactical and political, they misuse this appraisal system as such, right? I'm only not talking about corporate, I'm not talking about IT engineers only, but this appraisal system also applies even to the politicians. Every 5 year there is an appraisal system, and who is actually reviewing that appraisal system? People. And they vote, and that tells you whether you have done well or not. Correct? Same concept applies everywhere. And many husband and wife, they part ways. Why? Because the appraisal system has not worked very well. They have not sat together and reviewed the differences, and they want to get rid of certain things and embrace certain things and stuff like that. Now let me not deviate, coming back to the original point. So there is a implicit pressure, not an explicit pressure, which is viewable, which you are able to view in your naked eyes, or which you are able to feel, right? There is an implicit pressure given. Unless you do this, you are not able to overcome, or you're not able to survive. What happens is that kind of pressure is the one which is actually pulling us backward. And that's why we always encourage you, don't be intimidated, whether it's an explicit pressure or an implicit pressure. Don't ever be intimidated. Let it be political pressure or tactical pressure or even any kind of pressure. Don't be worried about it. Don't be too bothered. Don't be too worked up. Don't be intimidated. Intimidation is the right word. Don't be threatened. Because why? In this world that you live, it's full of, everyone wants to finish everything day before yesterday, because it's running at full speed. There is no time for anybody to wait. Therefore everyone is expected to be good at multitasking. You got to be dynamic, you got to know more than 10 things. You are going to be appointed for a certain title at workplace, but they will be expecting you to know much more beyond that. So for which knowledge, sky is the limit. For you to build up your knowledge, education, sky is the limit. That's why you got to keep upgrading, keep doing things. No, don't repeat. Mechanical work is not allowed anymore. Even mechanical engineers are very dynamic these days. They invent a lot of robotics and AI is artificial intelligence, and they build a lot of machineries to help the mankind. Correct or not? Even they are not mechanical. So every one of us need to build a dynamicity, and the reason is because the world is running so fast. That's why sometimes you feel everybody they pressurize me. This is not fair. This is unfair. Now how can they pressurize me like this and all that? Everyone are under pressure. You ask him, his boss would have given certain targets. You ask him, his boss would have given certain targets, and everybody will have to fulfill certain targets to win our competitors, because business is all about competition. Now in life also, see, ultimately we all have to work to run our families. Correct or not? Right? And that pressure should not travel right inside your family, for which you need to handle the pressure. And that's why I just gave a funny title, enjoy the pressure. Now, there is a big difference between an eagle and a sparrow. When there is a stormy situation, there's, hurricane or something like that, the eagle will enjoy. Aha, my time has come. Let me flap my wings and let me fly high. But what will a sparrow do? It will find the deepest hole and it will go and hide itself. Why? Because that's a limit for the sparrow. It has got a very small wings, but that's the most sensible decision for the sparrow to make, to hide and save its life. Whereas this fellow is like an eagle. I mean, he is an eagle and he has got bigger wings, 9 feet wings. Both the wings put together is 9 feet width, and is able to fly high and enjoy the pace. Now, why I gave this example is you need to identify the real who you are. Not all of us are blessed with all talents. Some of us are like sparrows. Some of us are like eagles. Now you got to find out the length of your wings, and based on which you got to decide what pressure you can handle, what pressure you cannot handle. If you have identified that, you definitely know among 10 things that are to be called as pressures, you are able to handle 6 or 7 things easily. Because why? You have that long wings. But there are 4 other things. You are like a sparrow, right? It's a dual role. And be honest to admit you're not able to handle it. Why? Because you're not having the talent, you're not having that skill, you're not having that capability. No problem. So find a way out to kind of work with your boss, work with your subordinates, or work with anyone, and ensure that these things are handled by someone else, or you have to find a different job, or you have to find an alternate, a plan B. And for which you need to take many people's advice. Right? You don't have to keep it within you and feel that pressure and be intimidated. You got to really take it to the next level, and therefore you are able to find alternates. You have to find plan B. This is one category of people. The other category of people, I'll tell you what, they have the skills to handle all the 10 pressures. Only thing is they have a mental block. I have seen so many people in my life. I've mentored so many people. They don't even know their talents. They don't even know their capacity, their capability, their strengths, their own weak. All of us have weaknesses and strengths both, right? Nobody can say that I'm strong at everything. No, you have some weaknesses too. You need to identify and start working on those weaknesses, and slowly that can be converted. But certain weaknesses can never be fixed, because that's the way how your genetical system is. That's the way how you are. So you have to admit, no, I'm weak in certain areas. Not all of us can be Dhoni and Tendulkar and start swinging our bat. Correct? No. And if all of us are swinging with the bat, and then who will be bowling? There can be only one Zahir Khan or Siraj or Kapil Dev or Srinath, and all the bowlers, the top bowlers. So you got to have that balance in life. So find your talent. Now my point is, like, you need to really dig that talent right inside you, from right out inside you to the outside. Now for which you may need certain people to mentor you. Why? Because unfortunate thing is, like, all the 10 pressures could have been handled much more easily, but then because you have this mental block, because you didn't know the real who you are, because you did not identify and discover the strengths that are right inside you, you have been failing and failing and failing. I know a very close relative of mine. I had to start working with her because she was going through a lot of problems at workplaces. But when I had been working with her, I started digging some of her talents. I asked few questions, and she was giving certain answers. And I found that she has not identified the real who she is. She was into a technical career path, but I told her, no, no, you belong to the administrative career path. You belong to the managerial career path or a techno functional role. You belong there. You're not only good at coding. right? But she was doing a good job, but it was not recognized. It didn't go well for various reasons, and the reason is because she's not completely skilled in only coding. She can also do a good job in techno functional, and she would prosper. She took my advice and we worked together, and she's placed in a very good company and she's doing well, right? Like that, you will have to really identify what are you good at. Therefore, the pressure that you see today will not exist as pressure, because why? You are that eagle. You have not identified your wings. See, when the eagle sits, you will not see that long wings. When it flies high is when you will find the wings. Yeah, I don't think even the eagle would be checking on its wings, because the eagle knows my wings are really, really wide enough. I can handle the pressure, right? Like that, do not keep sitting with your wings folded right underneath. Learn to also fly high and look at the size of your wings or the width of your wings. You will be really awestruck. The second category of people are like this. And third category, already I told you, maybe you're not capable to handle all the 10 pressures, for which you need some mentoring, you need some coaching. Nobody is a waste paper in the dustbin. Don't ever have that inferiority complex. If there are 10 pressures in your life, tactical, political, environmental, financial, whatever it may be, you will be able to handle at least half of them, right? No one can say that I can't do anything in life, I can't handle anything in life. No, if that is the case, right, the world will end in a couple of days, right? That is definitely not the truth. Just that you have not identified your strengths, and you got to work with somebody. It could be your own father, it could be your own mother, wife, husband, anybody, right? But pick someone and start working with them, because there are a lot of people who are in volley of failures, failure after failure. I'm not able to overcome, I'm good for nothing, inferiority complex, and they end up with certain decisions. Either they become alcoholic or drug addicts or whatever, right? They get into all sorts of wrong directions, and we got to stop that. And how are you able to do that is, you got to identify someone and start working with them and slowly start fixing. Prioritize what is the easiest thing that you could that you could handle in life. You please pick that. About pressures itself, I don't have to tell you. We have pressures everywhere. To even to run the family, even to buy your groceries, even to sustain in your job, studies if you're a student, young professional, there are a lot of challenges. Not all engineers, all doctors get what they want. They really have to struggle. There is struggle everywhere. But do we focus only on struggles? I think that's not the sensible thing to do. But we need to find ways to handle those pressures, and there onwards it'll help us to move on successfully in lives. All right, thank you for listening. Please subscribe if you have not. You will start receiving automatic notification, and share these channel details, the videos you watch, with whomever you know. This is a clear motivational speech, and not only that, it is also going to help everyone that are young professional, whichever category you belong. It is only going to help you, because we speak here about the nomenclatures of life. It's a universal concept, right? And it is applicable to everyone. All right, thank you very much, and talk to you soon. Namaste.